Hey, how is everybody? Hey, y'all. I hope everybody's doing good. If you're cool. What's cooler than cool? Ice cold. So I hope everybody's ice cold. It is Wednesday, and I am in the middle of cooking dinner, and I thought I would stop in and, have a little conversation. Tell you guys, it has been 10 years since I was attacked by a dog. I don't know if you can see it very good. But I was attacked by an Akita. It was my backyard neighbor's dog. And me and my children were out on the front porch. My oldest daughter's father, I was going through my divorce at this time. This was in 2014. And my oldest daughter, her father is not my ex-husband's, and her father is a cop in the city that we lived in. So his pretty much route is on our street and around our street that we had lived in. So he came by while he was at work to check out our daughter's senior pictures. So as we're standing on the front porch and we're talking, my son and my youngest daughter, Miss Holiday, they were in the backyard playing. So in the backyard is where this Akita lives. Now, where we lived at, you can't have fences because there's considered what's kind of like a flood zone. So, I'm not quite sure, but I guess just in case there's too much, the fire department or whatever could get back there without the hassle of the fences. So, where his dog house is borders at the edge of where my property was. So, say that this is my property going this way. Their property is going that way. But the back of the dog house is against my property. Okay, so that dog is always outside in the dog house. It doesn't ever really go in its own house. She doesn't allow it. The owners. So like I said, we're on the front porch and we're talking and everything. All of a sudden, I hear the worst scream that I think a parent could ever hear. And so I'm about to start running towards my backyard where my son is coming around. And I'm talking about hauling ass hauling. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Now, he's got a hold of my youngest daughter, Holiday, by the back of her coat, and she's barely on her feet dragging her. And as soon as he hits the porch, that's when he's still trying to get in the house. He ain't even trying to talk, so he's in the house. And that's when he finally gets out. That dog is loose. So he runs in the house, and so we're just standing there. And so me and my other two daughters and my daughter's father, we see the dog, with the chain and everything and the little pen that goes down into the cement. That whole thing with the dog is gone. And they're going, I lived on 31st Street, so that's 31 blocks away from where the lake is. So he's going lakeside, so he's going up. So, my daughter's father, being a cop, he gets on the radio, lets them know what he's about to go do. So he's like, whose dog it is. I explained to him. And it's weird because the way that, the street that goes back to the backyard neighbor where that dog is, it's weird. You have to go up a street, around a street, and come back because that street is like a U. So he was like, I was trying to explain to him how to get back there in his cruiser, and he didn't understand. So he was like, well, I'm going to go the other way, you know what I'm saying? You run over there and let him know, and, I'll be right there. So I get there, and I'm talking to the owners, and I was like, your dog's loose, yada, yada. She's like, oh, my goodness, okay. So she now gets the dog, hamburger helper, and it's done. I'm going to do some baked potatoes now. So, sorry about that. She's like, okay, so as we're talking, waiting for my daughter's dad, the cop, to come around, I hear this noise behind me, so I turn around, and it's the dog. It done came home. So remember, like I told you, the dog has never been in the house. It's always been outside. So now here comes my daughter's dad. He's coming from the opposite street because he still couldn't figure out how to get around there. So he comes up, and as I'm standing on the porch towards the lady's door, at the front door. The dog is still on the second step, not even on the porch yet, but he's approaching. She's trying to get the dog to come into the house, which, like I told you, the dog doesn't know because it never goes into the house. So the cop comes, you know what I'm saying? The dog kind of shies away and goes back off of the steps. So that's how the cop, my daughter's dad, he approaches, and so they're talking, and he's explaining to her that he's got to give her a ticket, asking about the dog shots and so forth. So the dog comes back now. So I'm standing on the side of the cop where the door opens at. So as I'm doing that, the dog's coming back up the steps. So the dog is coming closer to me. So I've always been taught, you put your arm out. So I put my hand out down like this to the dog, and it sniffed me, and she's still hollering at it to come in the house. So he's kind of conflicted between sniffing me and then his owner telling him to come on. So he like sniffs me again, and as he's about to go into the door, he just turns around, and I'm talking about he clamped down on me. And the shock of me, I'm like, and then it's like I'm trying to pull my arm back, and now the owner, the wife, now the owner, the husband is now coming out. They're kicking the dog. My daughter's father, the cop, and the owners, the man, the husband, they're kicking the dog. All he's doing now is biting me and like doing this thing where he's scooting back, trying to take me with him. And so after the kid, it didn't work, and so he is now becoming more ferocious. So the cop pulls the gun out, tells me to shift to my left, and then he gets one shot off and shoots the dog in the ass. And so the dog didn't stop. Now he's shaking me, and so he shoots him again. That took him down and took me with him because he still hadn't let go of my arm. So I'm on my knees facing this dog. This dog is like almost to where he's going to lay down, then all of a sudden he just stops. The cop had to shoot him again because he was coming directly for my face. After that, I passed out. So I remember waking up to them cutting my clothes off me in an ambulance, and then I remember getting to the hospital, them telling me that they had to wait for a surgeon to be flown in, so they're going to put me to sleep. So I was asleep for a day and a half, and then they came in and woke me up, and then the nurse was like, I have to give you a bath and get you ready for surgery. I think I cried more because some woman's going to give me a bath than I did about having to go to surgery. So I ended up with a metal plate in here. Like you can still see where my bones popped through there. My thumb was hanging by just a piece of meat, like the bone was gone, and it was hanging way down here. So I had 2 pens in here. I only have 1 pen left now in my thumb, and you can still see it. Let me see if you can tell. Like there's where they took one of the pens out, and the other one is like up underneath there. So I have 1 pen left, but they finally took the metal plate and the other 2 pens I had in here. They took those out, so now I'm just stuck with 1 pen. I ended up with nerve damage. I still can't feel the tips of these 2 fingers. And I was a phlebotomist and a medical laboratory tech. And because of the fact of not being able to feel this finger for a phlebotomist, you don't particularly have a job because you have to fill with this finger. You can't do it with this one because you have a major like vein and blood vessel that goes through your left. That's why you always wear your wedding rings on your left hand. So I pretty much, I would say, took an early retirement because they had told me that the nerve damage can go away. And so it's now been 10 years last week, and it still hasn't gone away. So, but I mean, I still have my degrees and everything to fall back on if need be. But yeah, as of now, I can do like microbiology in the lab if I want it, but to do something to where you have to accurately pipette anything for reagents and chemicals like that, I can't do because it's not accurate. And if I don't have, say that we have a power outage and the instruments that we use in the lab are down, I would have to accurately pipette different reagents for different tests. So that is my story, guys. Thank you for listening. And like I said, I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be here. The way that he had got me, they said if it was a 1/2 inch over, I probably would have bled out and died. So I don't care about the nerve damage. I'm still here. But thank you guys all, and I'm sorry I've been ghost a little bit, but hubby had a new route, so learning this new route was hard. And then on top of a new route, they give us a whole new computer navigational system that goes out whenever she wants. So it's just been a little crazy, but we're finally getting back into the swing of things. So I hope to see you guys more. Charlie will be here more as well. I don't know what he's doing. He's tinkering with the truck or something, I think. Oh, he went into Love's to get something to drink. So, all right, guys. Love you. Mwah. Ciao, bella. Yes, both of these are gone. And no, I'm not saying that to you guys. But look at that. How do both on the same hand fall off? All right. Love y'all. And behave yourselves. And if you don't, always remember Tashana's a very good name. Ciao, bella, guys.